Hey everyone, this is Zero Prime and welcome to another edition of Zero Review. As this one's a little bit special because there's a whole lot of stuff to say about this particular game and a whole lot of stuff surrounding this. Now on my channel I posted my gameplay from quote unquote start to finish with Diablo Immortal. A game that I do remember about the whole controversy with its announcement, and also followed by the famous quote of, "Don't you guys have cell phones?" Yeah, even though besides all that and everything, I still wondered, would this still be a good game, you know, even though it'd be a mobile game, and we all know that mobile games do have the unfortunate side effect of being, you know, in the bad category because of the monetization. So when it was finally announced that, you know, there was a beta test and everything, and I downloaded it on my PC, I played a little bit of it and gave it a try, and I basically, you know, started it and I quote unquote finished it because technically it's not over yet, and I'm not really gonna spoil much about that because that's not the whole point of this review. But I do want to say that the mechanics of this game are not that bad. They really are not, in my personal opinion. I mean, it does play like a regular Diablo game, like Diablo 3, and it does take place between Diablo 2 and 3, so they get like a little, you know, see what happened between the two games and everything. But other than that, it's not really a bad game. I mean, you know, you meet up with people, you do quests, you know, and all that stuff. It's a Diablo game. But unfortunately, that's the only good thing I can honestly say about this. And in case you haven't wondering what you're watching on the screen instead of gameplay, there's a website where someone created a basically like an algorithm based on the algorithm of the game. Because, you know, in Diablo, what makes it more well known is about the loot with the equipment and also with the gems and everything. And kid you not, that basically that's the one major downside to this game is the microtransactions after microtransactions after microtransactions, followed by a random system that seems totally ridiculous and unfair. Now, like for this setup right here, that essentially it's not really enough just to gain levels. You have to find better equipment and then better gems, you know, to equip those to your equipment in order to give you better stats and everything. And essentially here, I basically tried to, you know, simulate if I wanted to get like the maxed amount of gems to max out my gear. And essentially, this is the result of it, that basically it just gets ridiculously expensive because there's like a thing called a rift in which you basically go in, you play through it, and if you get lucky you might get a, you know, a different level of gemstones and everything. And even when you get like multiples of them, you have to use the same ones or different ones, I'm not sure exactly, but you basically use the same gems to upgrade to get a better one. And like I said, there have been articles like this one streamer that it was in New Zealand dollars, but in terms of US dollars, he spent $16,000 to basically get, you know, the max amount of, you know, to get the best gear, the best gems, you know, based on this system. That is just fucking ridiculous. And what's even worse is by the time when I was, you know, recording this and everything, it turns out that they even added like a hidden upgrade that, from my understanding, once you maxed out the gems in your equipment, you know, you do something in order to like, you know, like quote unquote finalize it, but then it opens up 5 other slots in the equipment for more gems. So that means you basically have to go through all of this and spend, you know, money like continuously every minute to try to get the best stuff. It's been like calculated that essentially for some people, like, you know, this is like a sample of a data and everything, that basically you have to be spending 500,000 US dollars and more. And that is just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's all about, you know, it's essentially gambling. That's all what this is. It's just gambling at its finest, at its point. And it's just kind of crazy that, yeah, I mean, you know, you either win or you lose. You know, there's no argument there. But you would think that, you know, for something like this, especially because there are people that have very, very bad gambling problems, that they can basically just screw up their lives trying to think they'll win it big and everything. And it definitely reminds me of some of the articles and incidents I've read where people, you know, spend a lot of money on the mobile games gotcha systems and everything, and it's just ridiculous, in my opinion, on this. I mean, and the sad thing is, though, I mean, you spend all that money on this game, got like the best equipment and everything, but then when the time comes that the company, you know, says like, oh, this game is no longer good, you know, they're shutting it down, there goes all your money just going bye-bye. It's like, I don't really like to, you know, make that comparison, but it feels like, you know, Activision Blizzard, just as, you know, how they treated their female staff, they're passing on that same feeling towards us, you know, players, thinking that, oh, because, you know, it's Diablo, you have to spend a lot of money and everything on this. Like, who in the right mind think that this is a good idea? Personally, you know, I think it's the stupidest idea, and personally to me, I would like do it in this way, you know. Take Diablo Immortal off, reprogram it, you know, just still the same gameplay, and fix it up with the looting system that, you know, I mean, yeah, you can still, you know, have the, you know, the odds and evens about getting it, but don't make it so much as blatantly obvious that it's in favor for like Blizzard, because like it says here, you know, each time, because like right now we are at the 81,000 at this point, or getting 82,000, and like I said, it's just freaking ridiculous. That I would basically just take this game, reprogram it to make it like, you know, a small, simple Diablo game, you know, spin-off or like a little, well, prequel slash sequel, you know, since it's between Diablo 2 and 3. Just change it, remove the loot system and everything, or at least change it that, you know, at least it is fair to a point, but not so blatantly obvious that you have to keep spending a whole lot of money just to get some gears and gems for a game, when you can use that money for something more important in your life than that. That's just my opinion on that part there. Because like I said, the one problem, you know, mobile games, there are some mobile games that are not that bad, but the problem is they always approach the free to play with, you know, thinking like, oh, just put in microtransaction after microtransaction after microtransaction, and they just focus on that. They don't really focus on the gameplay. I mean, if they just focus like, you know, on the gameplay and just sell it as like, you know, maybe not like 50 or 60 bucks, like, you know, console game or PC games, but at least sell it enough that seems fair enough for at least a mobile game. So that way, you know, people can play it, it'll be on their phones, and even when it comes to the eventual time when that, you know, they'll stop the game completely, at least you still have it on your on that phone to play it and everything. So At least that's what I've done with this, because Diablo Immortal is not, the gameplay is not that bad as a mobile game. It's pretty decent to some points. I mean, yeah, there are some issues, like one major glitch that I encountered and everything in the jungle area. But besides that, I mean, the gameplay is not that bad. What makes it, you know, horrible is the fact for the microtransactions. And the other problem is that, you know, like I said, I quote-unquote beat this game, that I got to the quote-unquote end of it. And now they just expect you to, like, you know, keep grinding, do the same bounty missions, and all that stuff. Without really much of an incentive. And of course, there are the raid bosses, but the level recommendations for that are kind of like high. That they kind of, it seems like they purposely done that. So like, oh, you gotta spend money to get the best gear and stuff in order to increase your battle level in order to fight the raid bosses. I mean, heck, the last update I saw, they just added like another raid boss. And even to fight that on the level 1, it's like way above where I currently am right now. And it just gets really boring. I mean, they should just focus on, you know, adding more to the story and everything. You know, instead of just adding like the, you know, like the raid bosses and all that. They should just focus on trying to, you know, on the story, so that way it adds up to the end of it. Then they can add on to the extras like the raids, events, and all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a shame that, you know, the Blizzard has gone in this direction. I wouldn't be surprised if a few years down the line it becomes like the next Konami, basically. Which is kind of a sad thing to say, but it is what it is, though. I mean, so my final opinion on this game, it's not bad gameplay-wise. I mean, it's pretty decent, but what ruins it for me is the microtransactions upon microtransactions and so on and so forth. I think there's like about seven types of microtransactions in this game, which is ridiculous. I just hope that when Diablo 4 comes out, they're not gonna pull off this strat on that, because then that would definitely kill the franchise once and for all. And I hope not. But in any case, guys, that's all the time I have for this review. So as usual, guys, thank you for watching, and make sure you leave a comment below, subscribe for more video update, share this on your Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and all other social medias. And don't forget to hit the like button to help out the channel, and to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on my channel. And if you guys want to help me out in some shape or form, I do have a Patreon account down below. And as usual, guys, thank you for watching, and have a pleasant day. Bye bye.